Now that we've learned how to display related data in list views, let's take it a step further and introduce images, specifically user avatars and equipment images. In this lesson, we'll modify the inspector column to display the assigned user's profile image alongside their name, making the list view more visually engaging and easier to scan. Then we'll go a step further and display an equipment image using the image URL field on the equipment maintenance history object. This demonstrates how we can display images stored as URLs in list views using HTML. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand how to work with both user avatars and custom images in list views. Unlike most fields on the user object, the profile image isn't a standard field. Instead, Skedulo provides a special reference called useravar.url, which allows us to retrieve and display the user's profile image. Any lookup field that references a user, like inspector in our case, will have access to this functionality. So while we're using inspector.useravar.url in our column template, the same approach applies to any other user lookup field you might use in your list view. Right now, the inspector column is displaying only the user's name. Instead of just showing text, we're going to introduce the brz-UI avatar component, which is designed specifically for displaying user avatars. To start, let's add the brz-avatar component next to the inspector's name like this. At this point, the avatar component is in place, but it doesn't have an image yet. To fix that, we'll use the image source property and point it to the profile image. Now, if the user has an image set, it will appear in the list view. If not, Skedulo will automatically generate initials based on the label property, which we'll sort next. The label property determines what initials are displayed when there's no profile image. By default, it will use the first letter of each word in the label value. Since we want the initials to match the inspector's name, we'll set it to inspector.name. This means that if an inspector doesn't have a profile image, the list view will automatically display their initials instead. The brz-avatar component also includes several other properties that control how the avatar looks and behaves. The size property allows us to adjust the avatar's size, so we'll set it to small to ensure it fits nicely in our list view. And in addition to this, the label property not only defines the initials, but also acts as a tooltip. So whenever you hover over the avatar, it will display the full name of the user. Now the avatar is correctly sized and we have a tooltip when hovering over it. By combining the avatar with the inspector's name, we're actually demonstrating another powerful capability of list views, the ability to concatenate multiple fields together. Instead of having separate columns for an image and a name, we can combine them into a single, well-formatted display. This keeps the list view clean and easy to scan. So far, we've worked with user avatars, which are a specialized type of image reference, but what if we wanted to display a custom image from our equipment maintenance history object? For example, we have a custom field called image URL on our object, which stores a direct URL to an image of the equipment, like gloves, a harness, or a helmet. We can display these images directly in a list view by using standard HTML. And to demonstrate this, we'll create a custom column and build out the template step by step. First, let's add a basic HTML image tag inside our column template. At this point, we have an image element, but it doesn't display anything yet. So next, we'll point the source or src attribute to the image URL field so that the list view dynamically loads the correct image for each row. Now, the list view will load the correct image, but let's make sure it's not too large when viewing the list view. To keep the list view clean, let's apply inline CSS to limit the image size to a maximum of 50 pixels. With this, the images are now properly sized and fit neatly within the list view. Adding images to a list view isn't just about aesthetics, it's about improving usability. By displaying user avatars, we're making it easier to recognize inspectors at a glance. By incorporating custom images, we provide visual context for equipment records, making list views more intuitive and informative. So now that you've seen how to work with both user avatars and custom images, you have the tools to enhance your list views with meaningful visuals, whether it's helping users quickly identify team members or providing instant recognition of equipment. These small changes can make a big impact. In the next lesson, we'll continue building on these concepts and explore even more ways to customize list views to create visual and engaging user experiences. See you there.